Mic check, mic check, check, check.
Finish him!
Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Most High in Christ bless. I have
Officer Amiel.
All right, this is another show, another episode of In the Scripts Reloaded. We just came back from the men's conference.
Yeah. How did the thing go, Cam?
It was great, man. And we know you was there in spirit.
Yeah, I
but
was
not
there in spirit.
You was there in the spirit, not
you know,
in the
I got
physical.
this bad limp. You know what I'm saying? If Esau had the cam out there and tried to throw hands, I couldn't do it. I got this bad leg. I got a bad wheel.
Officer Amiel has a bad hip.
I couldn't run fast enough.
Yeah. But he was there in spirit. All praises to the Most High God. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, man. We had a good time.
I'm glad.
And
I'm glad. I saw the video, man. It looked powerful.
The effects of order and structure and well organized brothers is showing. We've been getting a lot of feedback. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah.
Some negative. The positive outweigh the negative.
Yeah.
The negative is just from the reprobate, dusty Israelites, individualites
And
mostly.
surprisingly, the positive feedback has been coming from the other nations.
Yes.
I noticed that.
Yes, absolutely. So all praise to the Most High God for that. But you got to take the good with the bad, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We had a beautiful time in Memphis, Tennessee. All praises to the Most High for that. Captain Hoshaya, shout-outs to you.
All praises.
But unfortunately, over the weekend, there's been a damn bloodbath in Chicago. There's been a bloodbath in Chicago in one day. Let's open up with Chicago, all right? Although it's not the topic of discussion tonight, I just have to go over that. I sent you a news article. Let's open up with Chicago. It says 66 shot, 12 fatally in Chicago weekend shootings. It's from abc7chicago.com. I sent it to your phone.
Chicago always been bad. I haven't been to Chicago since I was little, but even back then, horrible.
Yeah, man. You got the GDs, the BDs, the O-Trays, the Vol-Trays, and all sorts, all these gangs, all these blocks, everybody warring with each other. You know, but I'm going to give you my opinion on that. Especially after dissecting the Purge movie like we did.
Yeah.
All right? It's taking time to load. All right, so I'm going to definitely give you my point. Before we open up with the article, let's get the scripture. Give me Hosea 4, please. Start at verse 1. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 1. Read it out. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So the Most High God has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. Remember, it started off, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. So the person that the Most High has a controversy is with us. Come on.
Because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
Because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. Now, we know that's making reference to the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Yes.
All right, come on.
Verse 2. By swearing a...
So the first thing is the swearing. The Most High has a problem with the swearing amongst the children of Israel. Wherever we're scattered, whether it be in Brooklyn, whether it be over here in Dallas, whether it be in Chicago. Okay, next one.
And lying.
Lying. The Most High has a problem with our constant lying. Come on.
And killing.
And killing. This is the part that I wanted to get to. And killing. What we just witnessed in Chicago via media was an outright detestable and hateful act from one Israelite to another.
Yeah.
Okay, we hate each other so much that we are contributing to our own demise. All right, read on.
And stealing.
Uh-huh.
And committing adultery.
Come on.
They break out.
Uh-huh.
And blood touches blood.
And blood toucheth blood. Our people are like vampires with this thing. We can't, it seems like we have an uncontrollable desire for blood to just take life. We're acting like Esau. The same way Esau treated us when we got off those cargo slave ships, now we're acting, using that same aggression, and we're acting that out on each other. That's what you see in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you see in Chicago, all right? Let's get the article now. Can we show the video first? Bring it back. The volume up.
Let's go.
All right, let's show the video.
Right now, you can get my Munchie Mashups for just $3. Crispy hash browns and tasty white cheese.
All right, pardon the commercial, brothers and sisters, but we got to run through the commercial to get to what we're trying to look at. So be patient.
They got to sell you something.
Come on.
Only a Jack in the Box.
Allen Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says this violence is not random. He says it is targeted, fueled by gang members, and specifically, he says, people who have either shot or killed before. Tonight, he says it's time community members start turning gunmen into police. Tonight, parts of Chicago are in a crisis.
What happened this weekend did not happen in every neighborhood in Chicago, but it is unacceptable to happen in any neighborhood of Chicago.
As Lollapalooza raged downtown and the Cubs played on the north side, the most violent weekend of the year terrorized neighborhoods on the city's south and west sides. A dozen people killed, among them a 17-year-old girl shot in the face and a boy the same age on a bike.
They have the same aspirations, same desires that I do for my children that you do.
We can't solve these things without the community.
That takes more than policing.
The police are not going to save us, that the city is not going to save us. The cavalry is not coming. The cavalry is us. We have to save each other.
Tamar Manasseh is a one-woman cavalry. She sits on the corner of 75th and Stewart in Englewood every day, and she has for 4 years.
It's a matter of how do we get people to stop being afraid to come out of their homes and to re-engage with society. Once we take ownership of our blocks again, then it changes everything.
Once the shock of the weekend violence wears off, police hope people will start talking about who's responsible for nearly 70 shootings. Despite this weekend's surge in violence, shootings for the year are still down from what they were last year. Both Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson are continuing their calls for stiffer penalties at a state level for repeat offenders.
All right. Okay. Go down. Let me read the article. Okay, I'll read it.
I thought Farrakhan was cleaning up the streets in Chicago.
Man, they can't do nothing in Chicago. Chicago, the only thing that could clean up Chicago is the Israelites.
All praises.
Either that or a nuclear missile. All right? Chicago. A violent weekend in Chicago left 12 people dead and dozens more wounded. Now, these shootouts were occurring during broad daylight at, like, say, a barbecue or park or whatever, crowd gatherings, okay? Chicago police said a total of 66 people were shot from 6 p.m. on Friday to midnight on Sunday, and 12 of those victims have died. Wow. The shootings were concentrated in 4 police districts on the south and west side. Among the victims were a 17-year-old girl shot in the face and a 17-year-old boy on a bike. At a press conference Monday morning with Mayor Rahm Emanuel, Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said more needs to be done. They've been talking about more needs to be done for years and haven't been doing anything. As long as we fail to hold repeat gun offenders accountable for their actions, we're going to keep having these discussions on Monday mornings, Johnson said. What is that? SUPT again. What is
Superintendent.
it? Superintendent Johnson said they are investigating leads on a number of the shootings, but have not made any arrests in the shootings. All right, down. Johnson stressed the importance of community and police cooperation. We are all supposed to be on the same side. He said, some residents know this battle against violence will not be won just with policing. The police are not going to save us. The city's not going to save us. That's what the young lady just said. Scroll down. It's okay. It's a matter of how we do to get the people to stop being afraid to come out of their homes and re-engage with society. Okay? And if basically y'all need to snitch.
Yeah.
If you know who shot who, y'all need to say something, man, before it's your kids.
If it was your kid, your family member, you gonna want somebody to tell.
Exactly, because those slugs that they shooting has no name on it. It has no name on it. Okay? They not even shooting straight. They holding their gun sideways, just letting off into the crowd, and the bullets is just hitting anybody. 7-year-old kids on bikes. The Negroes can't aim straight. All right, Negroes shouldn't be aiming at all, especially at your own brother. Okay? Now, here's the issue that I have. Because they've been talking about, oh, we need to make policing stronger, this and that, right?
Yep.
They could never come up with any suspects. They could never find any. You trying to tell me 66 shootings, and it's already been more than 24 hours, more than 48 hours.
The city. Hundreds of cameras.
Hundreds of cameras around, and you can't find any suspects?
And they got the cameras with the microphones on, so when you shoot a shot, it automatically turns to where the shot came from.
Exactly. All these high-tech devices, and for some reason, the Chicago police can't find the suspects.
Junebug always escaping.
Now, here's the thing, because we've been hearing rumors, and I'm going to call it a rumors, but as different things come out, the Most High will release different things.
Yeah.
As different information comes out, I kind of lean towards listening to some of the rumors. Although I'm a man, I like to research stuff.
Yeah.
I like to research stuff. I don't like to jump on the bandwagon just because it sounds good or we can use it to sensationalize stories. No, I don't like that. I like to research stuff. Exactly. Now, we've been hearing how there's mercenaries, just like in the Purge movies, either mercenaries or crooked cops that are responsible for some of these killings in Chicago, setting up one gang against another or so forth.
They did the same thing with the Black Panthers.
Exactly. Now, we know that Negroes are wicked as hell, and I'm not saying that all of the shootings in Chicago are setups.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we know that brothers are gangbanging on each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about these 66 shootings, something I find hard to believe. And then they never catch anybody.
Never.
Negroes are not that smart to hide and run from the law and to get away with crime like that.
Last night, he been posted all on Facebook.
Exactly. Now, this is why I'm saying that. Let's show the article, and we're still didn't get into the topic. The topic of tonight's radio show is the law is slack when concerning our people.
Yes.
But I have to address what's going on in Chicago. Captain Ra'ami, if you're watching, brother, call the show. Call the show. Chicago desperately needs help. 214-272-0400. 214-272-0400. All right? Any brothers and sisters into law enforcement, please call. Please call the show. All right? You got the article? The last one I just showed you from Atlanta Black Star. I just sent it to your phone. Now, this is why I have to lean towards the side of crooked cops are engaging in these things. and mercenaries and so forth, even if it means picking up a few gang members and dropping them off in location where the ops are at. All right? Because I can't really say they behind the trigger. Although nothing is too far-fetched with Esau, with the wickedness of Esau. Okay? But this is why I have to lean towards that, man. It's coming up. All right, while he's getting that, let's read that. Let's read that scripture again. Read Hosea 4, verse 1.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood.
And blood toucheth blood. All right, there is no mercy. We are killing each other at an alarming rate. But let me show this clip. So basically, let me bring you up to speed. Let me read it real quick. Chicago police parked a truck filled with Nike sneakers in front of a basketball court where underprivileged kids, minorities, Jake, blacks and Hispanics, mostly Negroes, so, played with the goal of entrapping them. When the kids went to take the shoes out, the police surprised them and arrested the teens. That is some wicked. That is beyond a reasonable doubt, just wicked, bro.
That's what you do with
That's
mice.
entrapment.
That's what you do with mice on a trap when you put the peanut on it right by the hole.
That's some wicked stuff, man. That is some wicked stuff. Now, we know the law says thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet. If these laws was instituted in our kids, in our youth at a young age, they would know, like, hey, don't go in that truck because those things don't belong to us. But you know how little kids think. There's a truck there. There's no driver. The back door's wide open. There's a whole bunch of sneaker boxes. They probably, hey, maybe these guys came and dropped it off for free. Because it's not like the driver was in the driver's seat asleep. And then they went in the back and they snuck in there and stole it. There was nobody in the truck. That is entrapment, bro. And you know what? The Most High sees all the evil. That is some evil and wicked stuff. That is some evil and wicked stuff. All right? Press play. Press pause for a second. There might be some curse words in here. All right? It's only a minute long. All right? I don't want to offend some of your virgin ears. If your children are next to you, tell them to go in the other room. All right? Go ahead. Press play.
I'm with that type of shit. You know that? Yeah. They
That's the truck right there.
They parking this truck on your block with shoes on.
That's sad, man.
The brother's saying that's sad, man. Press pause for a second. All right? The brother's saying that's sad. He's talking to the cops like, yo, that's sad. Y'all gonna scoop to an all-time low to try to fulfill your quota so you can get a raise, so you can get promoted to lieutenant or sergeant. That's some wicked stuff. And the Most High see all of that, and the Most High is gonna bring judgment on you. Come on.
Y'all dirty, man. Y'all dirty, man. Y'all see kids playing ball, y'all park a fucking Nike truck.
Hey,
full of Nikes in the ghetto.
They parked the Nike truck right here on 60 truck. It's like a bait truck.
Really?
People, man,
That's great.
it's a bait truck, man.
Kids playing ball.
They come
Y'all
and
park
get
an empty Nike truck with Nike boxes in there in the ghetto. In the ghetto.
And you know what's sad about it? Look at it. Look at these red devils. Press pause. Look at their faces. Look at their faces, red as hell. Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of. As the brother's telling them, yo, that's sad. Y'all gonna park a truck full of Nike sneakers in the hood to entrap these kids, to entice these kids to do evil and then arrest them. Some of these kids were 12, 13, 14, 15, teenagers going playing in the park, minding their own business.
Get a record
until the truck full of Jordans come and Air Maxes. Now they're enticed. Now they want to steal sneakers. So the brother's telling them that, and some of the cops are laughing. These are the people that your taxes go to in your communities. Your They're basically hired to do a service, to protect and serve.
Yeah.
But a lot of these police officers are serving themselves. They're not there for the betterment of the community. Because me as a public servant, because that's exactly what a police officer is a public servant. Okay? They're hired to serve you, to protect you. How could you trust them? And they want people in Chicago, they want the brothers and sisters in Chicago to be open with them. To be open with them. They want to be part of the community, but they're doing stuff like this. And then they're laughing. They're laughing. One of the cops said that could never happen in my community. I think that's what he said. That's why they didn't bring that truck over there to the white neighborhoods. But it would happen because white people steal too.
Right. Put a truck out there with vans and
a lot of people. The thing is that white teenagers don't buy sneakers. They buy sneakers more than black teenagers. Yeah. It's just that the magnifying glass is always put on black people. Right. That's why they call us liquid money. You know? I knew an Edomite that used to cop J's. He had every single Jordan that came out. Yeah. And then he would wear them for like 3 or 4 months, and he would resell them on eBay. Exactly. A lot of Edomites was doing that.
And they still do.
Black people ain't the only one that buy sneakers. We just have, when it comes to Jordans, we like to, instead of paying our light bill first, we'll buy a pair of Jordans. Yeah. All right, most Edomites won't do that, but they will spend they'll drop $500 on a pair of retro Jordans that nobody else can get.
Yeah.
Okay? He said that ain't gonna happen in his neighborhood. It would happen in their neighborhood.
Absolutely it would.
All right, this is entrapment right here. Go ahead, press play. Damn, what happened? That's it?
That's it.
And I believe there was a Jake officer there. He couldn't say nothing. He had his head down the whole time. All of the rest of them were Edomites. And I know, Lord willing, the brother had some kind of conscience to be like, yo, this is wrong. But they won't speak up because it's systematic racism, systematic corruption. And the minute that Jake officer speaks up, he's going to be put into a bad neighborhood on foot patrol. Yep. They're going to take his vacation day, his requested vacation days away. I know how it works because I knew people in law enforcement. Yeah. I have a friend of mine in the world who's actually a lieutenant in Brooklyn, New York. All right, he tells me everything. They'll take your requested vacation days away. They'll give you desk duty if you don't comply to their wickedness, to fulfill the quotas.
Wow. That's crazy.
Okay, so this is what they did. Look at this. Wickedness, man. This is wicked as hell. So when you hear stories about cops, undercover cops, responsible for some of the shootings in Chicago, mercenaries from other countries coming in to depopulate black communities and to improve gentrification, to get the blacks out, you got to believe it. Because if they doing this, what else can they do?
What else? This is just the low level.
This is just the low level. This is just the low level. All right, let's get a scripture. Give me Isaiah 51 and 20. Isaiah 51 and 20. This is wicked as hell, man. And some of those kids, now they're going to have that stain on their record. It's going to affect them when they go to try to apply for that summer job when high school is done. Some of that is going to probably be on their record all the way up into their adulthoods. Okay? So it's a long-range domino effect.
Sad.
This is why Israel United in Christ is needed in Chicago. This is why the word of God is needed in Chicago, man. Okay?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and verse 20. Read it out. Thy sons have fainted.
So our sons have fainted. Why? We lost consciousness of who we are. Okay? We lost our identity. We lost our spirituality. Come on?
They lie at the head of all the streets.
We're the ones at the head of all the streets. That's why the police officers are able to take a truck full of Nike sneakers, pull up in the hood, on the corner, on the head of the streets, because they know the Negroes are there. Come on.
As a wild bull in a net.
As a what?
As a wild bull in a net.
As a wild bull in a net. When you ever if you ever look at a bull and a matador, they call it, right?
Yeah.
And then they have that red cape, and they trying to do tricks with the bull and so forth.
Yeah.
Notice how whenever the bull gets to the cape, it gets confused. That's why it tries to knock it up. All right, you ever put a bull in a net? It's confused. It's trapped. The same thing with so-called Negroes. This is a prime example of it right here. This is entrapment. That's plain and to see. There's
Yeah,
no
that's
there's no
what it is.
conspiracy theory on it. There's no nothing. The cop was laughing. The cop was laughing.
Damn shame.
Come on.
They are full of fury of the Lord.
They are full of fury of the Lord, meaning the curses of the Most High. Deuteronomy 28th chapter, when you look at the Negro, that's him. The so-called Negro in America is the walking fulfillment of Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Our whole condition in Babylon the Great, also known as America. Okay? Come on.
The rebuke of thy God.
The what?
The rebuke of thy God.
So the reason we're suffering is because of the rebuke of the Most High God. We broke God's laws. Now, as a result of breaking his laws, we are suffering.
Yes.
Come on.
Verse 21. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine.
We're drunk, but not with wine. But we're drunk with philosophy. We're drunk with sin. We're drunk with religion. I guarantee you that same area in Chicago probably got 20 different churches.
Right.
The same place where all those shootings happened probably got hundreds of churches.
Yo.
You might got 3 churches on one block. Okay? But guess what? We are drunk with wine. We are drunk with white supremacist religions. Okay?
Exactly what it is.
Come on.
Verse 22. Thus saith thy Lord.
Now, that's it on that. Okay? Now let's get into the topic. Get me Habakkuk 1 and 4. All right? Because although the Constitution was written for the inhabitants and the citizens of America, we are not citizens, we are denizens.
Yeah,
The Constitution, the laws do not apply to us. They do not apply to the so-called Negro and Hispanics here. Okay? They do not apply to us, all right? The law is slack.
Go in and vote to give you your voting rights every 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is why they got the voting act for so-called blacks, all right? Because it doesn't pertain to us. So tonight's discussion on In the Scripts Reloaded is the law is slack. And we're going to show you examples. We're going to show you certain scenarios where the cases were the same, but the outcome was different.
Yes.
Okay? All because of race. All right, let's get Habakkuk 1, verse 4.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 4. Read it out. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous.
So there's more wicked on this earth than righteous. That's why the Most High is only coming back for 144 in the remnant. Okay? There's more wicked on this earth than righteous. Okay? But, however, our righteous works are going to outshine the wicked.
Yeah.
And those of our people who are caught up in wickedness, our works, our light is going to bring them up out of that. That's why that stance that we took over there in Memphis, that march, that Israelite march, the march of the soldiers of God, that's what we're getting the response that we're getting. People was like, yo, I want to be part of that.
Right.
I want to keep the commandments of God. Right. I want to be part of that. And that's a beautiful thing. All right? So read that again, brother.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore, wrong judgment proceedeth.
Because we have wicked people in the judgment seat. When the true judges of the earth are us.
Yes.
The true judges are us. Get me that in Job. The true judges are us. We're the hidden ones. We're the one whose faces is covered. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. 9 and I think 24, right? All right? We are the true judges. Yeah. Now we got Esau running this whole planet Earth, his wicked behind, bringing out wrong judgment. Okay? Why? Because we live in a white supremacist, Edomite supremacist society.
Right.
Okay? Come on, read.
The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. Read out. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
So he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. We know the scripture. The wicked that the earth is given to is the so-called white man. He runs the earth. He controls the money. Therefore, he runs the earth.
Right.
All right?
If not...
No, go ahead. He covereth the faces of who?
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
The judges of the Israelites. First and foremost, the Most High God. Secondly, Christ, Jesus the Christ, the black Messiah. Then the angels. Then you had the holy apostles, the holy disciples, and then his children, the Israelites. Okay, we're the ones whose faces are covered. So we are the judges of the earth. But now, when you go to Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4, it says, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
Yeah.
Why? Because the wicked doth compass the righteous. They're the ones in the judgment seat. So proper judgment is not going to go out on this earth.
Can't.
It's not going to go out on this earth. All right? All right, let's get you the first example of wicked judgment.
Right.
All right, this story right here is not too long ago. Get me the one, go back up. The white boy that was a loke, also known as Crip.
He was a what?
Loke. That's what we used to call it. We used to call it that in Brooklyn. White boy Crip, of Vanilla Ice was cripping.
White boy gang banging with the Crips.
Nope, that's not it. All the way up. Jonathan, did you send it? I sent it to you on I sent it to you. Yes, sir, that's it. Let's read the title. Go ahead, read, Lemio.
Former Palos Verdes high school student acquitted of South LA gang murder has newfound love for the law.
I would too.
Wow.
Wicked as hell. Now let's find out, what was he acquitted for? Was it mistaken identity? What was it? What was it that he was acquitted for? Come on. Press play, and then we're going to read the article after.
And God, I don't have to explain myself to anyone. God knows what really happened that day, and God knows what was in my head that day.
Yeah,
it is a story that made national headlines for
I can tell from his dialect that he watches a lot of Jake movies. He probably hangs out with all black people.
Right.
He probably listens to nothing but rap music. He got the Dodgers thing joint on right there. Yeah. So I definitely know he's loking. Definitely know he's cripping.
Right.
All right, come on.
But when guilty people speak, they always say, God know my thoughts.
Exactly. Your wicked thoughts. He does know your wicked thoughts. Come on.
Race and wealth. A high school student from Rancho Palos Verdes Estates was arrested in connection with the South LA murder back in October. Well, today, a jury cleared the wealthy white teen who was accused of driving the getaway car. KCAL9's Tom Wade is live tonight in downtown. Where
you know what's crazy? That's how you know everything is all out of order. Like, that's why I could never be, like, at one time when I was in college, at my second year, I was majoring in pre-law before I changed it to public administration, right? And that's why I could never be a defendant. I would be so selective. I review the evidence and I know your ass is guilty. I am not defending you, bro.
Can't take that case.
Like, he had the Jake lawyer. He probably got paid because it said he came from a wealthy background,
Yep.
right? He reviewed the evidence. He knows that this Edomite is guilty, but he's still defending him. I couldn't do that.
He should be an accessory to murder.
Exactly.
Even though you
a
pulled
brother
trigger,
got
whatever.
killed. Your own brother, your own kinsman got killed, and you're gonna defend it all in the name of money. That's that filthy lucre.
Yep.
That's why certain law I couldn't practice. I would have to be a tax lawyer or defamation of character or liability or something like. I couldn't be a defense lawyer. I couldn't be a defense lawyer. I could probably be a prosecutor.
That's what. Yeah.
Defense lawyer, I couldn't do because if I know you're guilty, brother, I'm gonna be the sloppiest, messiest defense lawyer on earth. But if I know you're innocent, I'm gonna defend you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my job that you're paying me for. But if I know you're doing some wicked stuff, guess what? I ain't defending you.
Right.
Even if I'm forced to take you as a defendant and defend you, I am going to make it sloppy. The same way Mike Tyson's lawyers defended him.
Ah, man.
Although he was innocent. I believe he was innocent with that rape case when he got locked up. Because you had jurors not too long ago, they had a documentary. They interviewed all the jurors and they said, yo, this guy was innocent. But his defense lawyer looked like he was working with the prosecutor.
Wow.
He did a piss poor job defending him. That would be me. In this case right here with this Edomite, that would be me.
Yeah.
That would be me.
Because that's why the scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil. Our people got such a covetous spirit.
Yeah, you know he got paid.
Like this.
Like, you know that lawyer. You know that brother got paid. They hired a black lawyer too They hired Blackface himself to defend their son. Come on.
That's right, Susie. The courthouse just behind me is where the jury came back with this verdict, clearing this teen of the charges against him. And as you said, it's creating some controversy tonight.
I'm just happy to be free. I'm happy this is over with.
A relieved Cameron Terrell speaks out moments after a jury cleared him of attempted murder charges in connection with the killing of Justin Holmes in October of last year. Terrell drove the car to and from the shooting in South L.A. His attorneys argued Terrell did not know he was...
That's BS. He did know. I know he know because he's an Edomite. He's a devil that the Bible speaks of. All right? So just one, that's premeditated murder. Because you're in the car as a driver. Yeah, they're acting like they had him in the car. How does he know these kids? Right. If he's from a wealthy family, I'm pretty sure he's not going to a piss poor school. Right. So how did he meet these Crips that he was gang banging with? Probably social media, whatever. He knew exactly where he was going. Yeah. That's premeditation of murder. All right? Being that he was the driver, that's accomplice to murder. He didn't have to pull the trigger, but he knew where he was delivering these people to, where he was going. And then he drove it back. He could have got out the car and ran or something, but he drove them back. Right. Come on.
Driving to what would be the scene of a murder. The jury believed them.
I talk to God every day, and God knows all my sins. So I don't have to explain myself to anyone.
Because the jury was probably made up. Here's another thing. Here's another thing. This is why I really don't attack law enforcement, but I will attack crooked law enforcement. But it's always up to the prosecutors to try the case well, and they pick the stupidest, dumbest jurors. You know how? Hey, find me that. I'm trying to draw parallels with this. Find me that scripture where the Most High had requirements for people to go into the temple for the Levites. Talk. I'll find it. Talk, Lemuel, on this matter.
Yeah, so he said he ain't got to explain himself to nobody. And, you know, like the scripture says, Job 9:24, when the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, yeah, in a sense, yeah, he's right. He ain't got to explain himself to nobody. He got all the money in the world. He can buy his freedom. And that's exactly what he did. He bought his freedom.
You know what's crazy? This Edomite right here by the name of Cameron Terrell, he reminds me of the movie Shaft. Remember Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, with the white boy.
Remember that white boy that killed the brother outside of the store, and he just kept on getting off. Yeah. And at the end, the mother said, I had enough, because she knew he was going to get off. Because they had some stupid people on jury duty. Some retarded, broke-back mountain people. Get me Leviticus 21:18.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 18. Read out. For whatsoever man...
Start at verse 17.
Verse 17. Speak unto Aaron, saying, whosoever he be of thy seed in their generations that hath any blemish...
This was about the priests. Okay, Aaron was a high priest. The people that came out of Aaron's loins were supposed to be priests, high priests as well. Come on.
Let him not approach to offer the bread of his God.
So the Most High said, look, if you have a blemish, don't come up to the temple to offer the blemish to offer the bread of God. Come on.
For whatsoever man he be that hath a blemish, he shall not approach.
Come on.
A blind man.
The Most High said, if you're blind, no. Come on.
Or a lame.
If you're lame, no, you can't come up to the temple.
True.
Come on.
Or he that hath a flat nose.
If you got you brother with flat noses, if you was alive back then, guess what? You would be prohibited from entering the temple.
Be short.
Come on.
Or anything superfluous.
Or anything superfluous. Come on.
Or a man that is broken-footed.
Superfluous. Go ahead. Or a man that is what?
Broken-footed.
Say, you got a crooked toe, broken foot, messed up ankle. Guess what? You can't come up to the temple either. Come on.
Or broken-handed.
Broken-handed, come on.
Or crook-back.
Hunchback, crook-back,
Or a dwarf.
Or you short brothers that can't even get on, let's say 4'8" or over. Guess what? If you was a dwarf, you couldn't go into the temple. All right, we got a lot of short brothers in Israel. Sorry, bro, you had to stay outside of the temple. Come on.
Or that hath a blemish in his eye.
Come on, you brothers with the shaky eyes. Okay, you brothers with the limp eyes, like your Biggie Smalls. Come on, come on.
Or be scurvy,
Uh-huh.
or scabbed,
Uh-huh.
or hath his stone.
Or have his stones broken, meaning no nuts, no testicles, have his stones broken. You could not go into the temple. The reason I brought that up, to draw some parallels between the people that they put in the judgment seat in Esau's law, inside of his judiciary system. They picked the most stupidest jurors. For the jurors to find this man not guilty, something is wrong. Something is wrong. They choose the most retarded people on earth. Okay, press play.
That was what was in my head that day, so.
Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom when the verdict was read. Family members of the victim, Justin Holmes, were inside but left without comment. Meanwhile, 2 black juveniles are awaiting trial for the killing and remain locked up. Community
You hear
activist
that?
Melvin Farmer.
They couldn't post bail. It was probably way too much money for their parents to afford. And they were accomplices too. They probably were the trigger man. All right? But that Edomite is supposed to still be locked up. And if his parents did post bail, he still should be waiting on his court date to be tried.
You would think so.
Okay, but he got off scot-free. Press play.
Says issues of race and wealth helped save Terrell from serving time. Terrell is from Palos Verdes Estates. His family paid his $5 million bail and legal bills.
2 black juveniles are probably facing a life sentence to where an adult took them to do something where he should have been held responsible just as much.
Before leaving court, Terrell had this message for the Holmes family.
Rest in peace, Justin Holmes. You should have died that day.
Yo, this dude is a devil, bro. Look at his eyes. Yo, he said rest in peace.
He looks like he has no soul in him.
Yo, he said rest in peace.
He looks so stone.
I'm sorry, partner, but you know,
wow.
I drove them to the hit. I was the man behind the wheel. We had to pull a 187 on you or whatever they call it out there in Southside LA.
Wow.
Because I know the terms is different. I know some of the terms is different from New York and LA. Go ahead, come on.
For his family every night. This been weighing on me every single day of my life.
So bad.
Yo, this dude is crazy.
And now that Cameron Terrell is free, he is going to go on to college, according to his attorney, and become a lawyer. Reporting live downtown, I'm Tom Wade, KCAL 9 News.
God. Oh, man.
These are natural-born killers. That's why they can kill our people, whether they pulling the trigger or not, and not have no type of emotion, no nothing. They're natural-born killers.
But he didn't pull the trigger, they said.
No, he did.
He was the driver.
Yeah,
but that's still an accomplice to murder. That is still an accomplice to murder. Now let's read the article now. Go ahead, let me go.
Cameron Terrell, 18, of Palos Verdes Estates, was acquitted of first-degree murder Monday after a 10-day jury deliberation. Prosecutors alleged Terrell was the getaway driver for 2 South LA men suspected of murdering Justin Holmes on October 1st of last year. He also faced 2 additional counts of attempted murder. Holmes and Terrell's families were escorted out of the courtroom by deputies separately in order to avoid a confrontation.
Wow. Special treatment for the little Edomite devil. But I tell you one thing, in the kingdom of God, there ain't going to be no special treatment. There's going to be righteous judgment. You ain't going to have your fellow Edomite families to escort you out of the court of law of the Most High God.
That's right.
Come on.
Terrell's defense attorney, Javon Blackwell, told reporters Monday he and his client were satisfied with the verdict. Though he said his client shouldn't have been charged with anything, certainly not murder.
Javon Blackwell, brother, you are the epitome of a coon. But, you know, you're in the world, you don't know the laws of God, so that's understandable because we know that's what America raises, either coons or black thugs. So you didn't choose the thug side, you chose the coon side. Come on.
The evidence showed that Cameron Terrell did not possess any weapons. He did not shoot anybody. He was not part of any conspiracy or any plan or plot.
He drove the car. He drove the getaway vehicle. He was not kidnapped. He didn't have a gun to his head. They did not force him. He drove the car willingly. And then he drove it away. Then he drove it away willingly.
Wow.
Come on.
At best, the evidence suggests that Cameron was a witness.
Am I missing something? What the hell? When did the law change? But when it comes to our people, it changes.
guilty by
When did the
association.
law? You're guilty by association. You're guilty by association. That is accomplice to murder. What the hell is going on? He drove the getaway vehicle. Come on.
The defense attorney, at best, the evidence suggests that Cameron was a witness, the defense attorney said, adding that his client made a good story because of his background, his family, where he resides, his school.
Wow. Come on.
However, L.A. County Deputy District Attorney Adon Montalban told jurors Terrell was a gang member who knew what the two other juveniles were planning to do when they shot and killed 21-year-old Holmes near the intersection of West 78th Street and Western Avenue, which Montalban said was rival territory. Holmes, who was with two other men at the time, reportedly told the assailants he was not a gang member. The men escaped without injury. Prosecutors told jurors Terrell knew about the planned shooting, evidenced by the fact he parked out of sight to let the teens out of the car. They also showed jurors...
He could have got away. He let the teens out of the car, out of sight. He could have got away. When he heard the shots, if he felt any kind of guilt, like, damn, what am I doing? He could have just bounced and left them there. Then they would have to run home, and the cops would have probably found them. But he waited until they finished shooting. He probably saw the shots or heard the shots. He waited till they came. And you know they ran back to the car. It's not like they walked back like, yeah. Come on.
They also showed jurors video Terrell recorded of his friends kicking over candles left for Holmes at a makeshift memorial.
Wow. So he went back. He went back.
And desecrated
He
the
went
brother's
back
memorial.
to the scene where the memorial was at and desecrated it. This man is guilty as charged.
Yeah. It says he
Why would he
recorded it.
go back? He recorded it. These jurors, man, oh my goodness, man. I'm telling you, wow. Wow, come on.
People who knew Holmes said he had attended college, was working, and had dreams for his future.
Now the cops, they did their thing because they arrested this man. Now it was up to the prosecutor and it was up to the jurors at that time. And they did a piss poor job. Read.
Still, Blackwell said his client was shocked when he heard the shots. Driving a block away is a matter of survival. He added Terrell would not have been driving his daddy's car if he knew there would be a shooting, though he did believe a fight would take place. Much was made of the fact that Terrell resides in the affluent community of Palos Verdes Estates. Terrell's $5 million bond was posted with $500,000 cash in October.
Wow.
After he admitted he was the driver that day.
I got to research his family and see what they do. I'm going to find out, and I will find out who the family is. Come on.
He began a home study course after parents at the high school demanded he not return to the campus.
Wow. Scroll down. This dude was gangbanging. Let me find out. Come on.
Terrell appeared in the background of several music videos from local rappers and had been given the name White Boy. This was used as proof that Terrell was in the gang, but Blackwell said his client should not have been criticized for being open-minded about having friends from different backgrounds who might walk a different
What
path.
is this? You see how the law is slack? That's why tonight it's called the law is slack. You see that? We would be guilty by association. But this Edomite devil, this dude said he's open-minded about having friends from different backgrounds.
And it was the black lawyer that said it.
Well, he just want his bread. He probably made a couple of mil.
Guaranteed.
He just want his bread.
If they pay $500,000 cash.
And he sleeps well at night.
Yeah.
He sleeps very well at night. That is the mind of a coon. The mind of a coon and the mind of a thug who have not repented in the laws of Christ, guess what? They sleep very good at night. Come on.
However, some said this case has been about money and race. Two black juveniles are probably facing life sentence to where an adult took them to do something where he should have been held responsible just as much. Community activist Melvin Farmer.
So this dude was he was probably 18. That's probably why they're labeling him an adult.
Yes.
Come on.
Blackwell added Terrell now plans to go to college in Houston to study law. Given his newfound love for jurisprudence.
Yeah, right. Newfound love my you know what. Yeah, right.
He loves the fact that the law
Newfound
is
love for
slack.
jurisprudence. He likes the fact that the law is slack. Thank you, officer. Come on.
Terrell said he sympathized with Holmes' family but remained defiant about his motives that day. Rest in peace, Justin Holmes. You shouldn't have gone that day. I pray for his family every night. This has been weighing on me every single day of my life. He added, I don't have to explain myself to anyone.
Damn, that's the arrogance of Esau.
The pride of thine heart.
My parents are rich, you Negroes. That's what he want to say. My parents are rich, you Negroes. I don't owe you any explanation. I'm telling you, this was the same character of that guy of what was his name? The guy that played Batman. What's his name? Dark Knight. Dark Knight.
Oh, Joker?
No,
Oh,
that's
Jesus
Christian
Christ.
Bale.
I'm talking Christian Bale. He says Joker. Come on. Christian Bale. When Christian Bale played in Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson, he had the same arrogance, the same look, the same talk, same thing like this Edomite right here. Come on.
God knows what really happened that day, and God knows what was in my head that day. The two juveniles had been in the car with Terrell awaiting trial. Terrell is the son of interior designer Deborah Terrell and media executive Donald Wayne Terrell. The Daily Breeze reported.
Wow. Well, yeah, you got his family right there. You got his family right there. Deborah Terrell and media executive Donald Wayne Terrell. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Get me the Omaha case. Now let's draw parallels. He went off scot-free. No probation for the rest of your life. No nada.
No nothing.
He went off scot-free.
You can do what you like.
And going to study law for his newfound love for the law
You know why?
jurisprudence.
He see the money that lawyer got paid. It's like, you know what? I can be as crooked as I want to be.
Yep.
And hit him upside the head each and every case.
Right.
Wow.
This is Omaha.com. 12-year-old Omaha boy gets probation for role in Miller Park homicide.
All right. So this is a 12-year-old boy. His name is, what's the brother's name? All right. We'll find out as we read on. Okay, go ahead.
Douglas County prosecutors want a 12-year-old boy involved in a robbery and killing at Miller Park sent to an out-of-state group home in the hope that he will sever his ties to an Omaha street gang.
Come on.
Prosecutor Jim Masterler said Thursday that authorities are looking into group homes for Jarrell Milton in Nebraska, Iowa, and Arizona.
Come on.
They hope the boy is accepted into a home outside Nebraska so he is away from his fellow gang members in Omaha.
12-year-old boy affiliated with gang members. Come on.
In Omaha.
The best one would be the farthest away, Massler said. He said a decision is likely over the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
In a hearing in juvenile court Thursday, Milton admitted his involvement in the June 29th death of Jamel Ray, 31. Jarrell Milton initially was charged as a juvenile.
Wow, they went and bodied a 31-year-old. Wow, go ahead.
Jarrell Milton initially was charged as a juvenile with first-degree murder in the case.
So he was initially charged. He didn't pull the trigger, brothers and sisters. All he did, he carried the gun that had an extended magazine in the killing. So he carried the weapon to the murder scene along with the other brothers who was the accomplice to murder. Okay? Same thing like that Edomite that we just seen. He didn't shoot the gun, but he drove the murderers to the murder scene.
Right.
Come on.
Prosecutors on Thursday said they had agreed to instead charge the boy with criminal conspiracy and use of a weapon to commit a felony.
Mm-hmm.
As part of the deal, Milton, who turns 13 in January, will be sent to a group home and placed on probation.
So they wanted to prosecute him with criminal conspiracy, all right, and murder. Come on.
He's 12 years old, said Matt Caller, the boy's attorney. The benefit is that he can successfully put this behind him. Authorities say that Milton, his brother Jamar Milton, 17, and 15-year-old Shantavius Primes Willis intended to rob and shoot 2 men from whom they had arranged to buy marijuana.
17 and 15-year-old stick-up kids. Come on.
Charles Fisher, 30, who was driving the car Ray was in, was wounded.
Now, over to the left, read that part where it says 12-year-old allegedly carried gun with extended magazine and killing.
Police detectives did not recover any bullet casings belonging to Jarrell Milton's weapon.
So the 12-year-old had a weapon. However, the bullet casings at the murder scene was not the same bullet case. This was not the same bullets that was in his gun. So that automatically should
wipe
out his case. Right. Come on.
Homicide investigator Sherry King said 2 other teens, Jamar Milton, 17, and Shantavius Primes Willis, 15, opened fire and are responsible for the killing.
This is crazy. A boy named Shantavius. These people, man, we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you going to name your son Shantavius? Come on.
Are responsible for the killing of Jamie Mel Ray, 31.
All right, go back to the article.
Jamar Milton and Primes Willis have been charged as adults with first-degree murder. Jamar's attorney unsuccessfully requested that his case be moved to juvenile court.
He's 12 years old, of course. Come on.
Primes Willis has made the same request, but it's still pending.
Now, this is his father to the left. Read what he said. He's currently in prison for murder.
I should have been more of a father than a friend, says dad of boys facing murder charges. When you go to prison, everyone wants to get on their knees and pray to God, said Javaris Milton, who is serving a life sentence for a 2010 homicide. You tell your kids, don't be like me, don't go to prison, but the seed is already planted.
And he's right about that. That's why we got to make sure
right.
we instill these laws in our kids. Because if we don't raise them, the media is going to raise them. You sisters at home with the kids, you got a big job to do. You got a big job to do. Okay? We have a big job to do. We have to make sure we raise these kids properly. All right? Read on.
Back to the main article. It says, Jarrell Milton's case was handled in juvenile court because of his age. His court records could be sealed after he reaches adulthood. Prosecutors have said Jarrell Milton was carrying a .40 caliber handgun with an extended magazine during the June 29th incident. Police detectives did not recover any bullet casings from that weapon, officials have said. Authorities allege Primes Willis shot Fisher with a 9mm handgun, and Jamar Milton shot Ray with a .22 caliber handgun. According to detective interviews with Fisher, Ray and Fisher planned to sell marijuana to Jamar Milton at Miller Park. The 3 youths had a different plan, police have said. They set up a drug deal, but planned to shoot the men and steal their marijuana. All 3 boys, including the youngest, are Nike gang members, authorities have said. Law enforcement officials have been investigating the gang in connection with numerous bank and commercial robberies, as well as homicides, shootings, and drug trafficking, according to federal court documents.
They still got that thing around. When I was in high school, they had a Nike gang joint in Brooklyn, New York. It's like once they have it in one state, that disease, that cancer spreads everywhere.
But Omaha?
Omaha, yeah, exactly. When I think of Omaha, I'm thinking of steak and
potatoes
and stuff.
Fries.
But wherever Jake is, there's controversy in the land. Come on.
Javaris Milton, the father of Jarrell and Jamar Milton, said the boys were exposed to gang life as they grew up. Javaris Milton spoke to the World Herald after the boys were arrested. He is in a Minnesota prison serving a life sentence for a 2010 homicide committed in Minneapolis. Javaris Milton, who could not be reached Thursday, has acknowledged that he hasn't set the best example for his children. He was a gang member and didn't hide his guns, dope, or criminal activities from his boys, he said.
All right. You can stop it right there. So the brother was tried. He's going to be tried as a, I guess, juvenile or something like that, but they're trying to send him away. He's going to be on probation till he's probably an adult.
But the gun he had.
And the gun he had nothing to do with it, but they saying that he shot a 22, which is possibly, because, the kickback on a 22 is not.
It's real light.
It's light. So I could see a 12-year-old pulling a 22. But is this crazy because It's crazy because the other devil gets off, but they dragged that little kid through the mud and they really didn't have any evidence on him. So he should have been let off scot-free too. Yeah. But the Most High had him go through that because he probably is guilty. You know, I'm leaning to the fact that he probably is guilty. However, just based on evidence, I'm not basing it on anything else because I'm basing it on Esau's law. It's innocent till proven guilty, right? And they based that on evidence. They said that the evidence was he carried the gun with an extended clip, but the bullet casings were not his gun. So that alone should have cleared him. But but he got a penalty. But this Edomite who drove the car to the killing, he gets off. He gets off.
And at 18 years old, you know what you know what you're doing. At 12 years old, it's like 12 years old, you're a lot easier to be influenced than at 18 years old. And the 18-year-old, he was driving 2 juveniles.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So the law is slack.
Absolutely. Law is very slack. Let's get the next article. Let's get 1 second. Get me the one from Philly.com. No first-degree murder charge in Rittenhouse stabbing.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
All right, go ahead. Let me out.
Source: no first-degree murder charge in Rittenhouse stabbing. Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner's office is not expected to pursue a first-degree murder charge.
So at first, it was supposed to be a first-degree murder charge. Let's find out why.
Is not expected to pursue a first-degree murder charge against the 21-year-old bicycle carrier accused of fatally stabbing a city developer near Rittenhouse Square in mid-July, according to a source with knowledge of the decision. Instead, prosecutors are expected to ask a judge on Wednesday to proceed on counts of third-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, and possession of an instrument of crime, said the source. He requested anonymity because he was not authorized to speak publicly about the case. The decision could allow Michael White to be released on bail pending trial, and all but ensures he will not face a life sentence if convicted.
So if he does get convicted, because now they're trying to try him in a third-degree murder. First-degree murder carried a life sentence. Third-degree murder carries 20 to 40 years in prison. Okay, come on.
The decision could allow Michael White to be released on bail pending trial, and all but ensures he will not face a life sentence if convicted. The mandatory penalty for defendants convicted of first-degree murder is life without the possibility of parole. A third-degree murder conviction does not require intent to kill, as in first-degree murder, but it still requires malice. The maximum penalty is 20 to 40 years in prison. Krasner's spokesperson, Ben Waxman, declined to comment on the case Tuesday. News of the decision, came as dozens of relatives, friends, and supporters of White gathered Tuesday evening at a prayer vigil in South Philadelphia and at a simultaneous rally in Center City. They said they hoped, even anticipated, that Krasner would downgrade the most serious murder count against White, who was accused of killing 37-year-old Sean Schellinger of Point Breeze.
Sean Schellinger is right there to the left. That's the Edomite right there. Okay, come on.
During an argument on a 1700 block of Chancellor Street.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop Ernest McNear, speaking Tuesday at the vigil at the True Gospel Tabernacle Church at 16th and Mifflin Streets, said that White was in for the fight of his life and that he hoped White could soon make bail. it's his time now to keep the faith and let this law system work. McNair told about 50 people gathered at the church. Meanwhile, about 60 more people gather outside Krasner's office near City Hall to express hope that White would be freed on bail as early as Wednesday.
Okay, so let me bring you up to speed what happened. There was a traffic jam. The brother, scroll up, what's his name? Michael? Was his name Michael? The brother that's locked up, facing third-degree murder.
Michael Krasner.
Yeah, he was delivering food via bicycle. He was a delivery boy for some food company or whatever. So the brother, I think that's him. That's the brother right there. So this brother was in the middle of a traffic jam. He was in a bicycle. There was a car full of Edomites. And they got into argument with another person, another vehicle, not the brother in the bicycle, although he was there on bike. So they took it upon themselves to come out of the vehicle with road rage, because they're Esau. If it's all white, it's all right. They came out of the vehicle and approached the other guy in the car. Some argument started, and somehow the brother right here on the bicycle got involved. I guess they came at him too. And they rushed him. One of the dudes used to play football, the guy that they showed, the Edomite that died. He rushed him, and he had a knife on him. So in self-defense, he pulled the knife out to protect himself and stabbed the dude up. And the guy died. And when this story first came out, he was what was he? He was not an interior decorator. He was an architect or something like that. They put all these different accolades out of what this guy had accomplished with work and career-wise to build him up, to basically say, how could this Negro defend himself and put this guy to death?
How dare him?
Exactly. How dare you defend yourself? He rushed him. The dude was on a bike. He felt threatened. There was more than one of them. There was like 3 Edomites or 4 or something like that. He felt his life was in danger, so he pulled the knife out and defended himself. Okay? But now he's facing third-degree murder. And I guarantee you, if the shoes was on the other side, they would not be facing any charges. And I'm going to show you. I am going to show you. Get me... Yeah, I'm done with that. Get me the next article. I just sent it to your phone, Soldier Jonathan. Okay, yes, let's get that. This was an old case from 2017, just last year, but I'm going to bring it up again. Let's bring it up again. Let's pull the article. This is it. Oh.
Yeah.
Is it pulling up?
Yeah, so all of the various parallels, and the thing is, we're going to pull up, we're going over these parallels, but a lot of our people will still not connect the dots. When the scripture says Esau is the devil the Bible speaks of, when it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, as much evidence as we can pull, many of our people will still not understand. Those that do understand, you know how the scripture says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad? The scripture says a wise man will be mad, meaning we'll be pissed off enough to actually change in righteousness. We'll change our actions and change our ways. Not go on social media or whatever other, just to tie it back to last night's class, we're not going to go off and start making threats against the police or threats against prosecutors and everything else, because all that does is add fuel to the fire, and it gives them much more reason to either shoot you down, lock you up, put all types of surveillance and everything else on your social media accounts and all that stuff, put various labels on you. That's why the Bible is vital to our survival here in this captivity.
Yeah, you got to comply. You have to comply with the law. Like recently, there was a video where a brother was on a, what was it, a tractor trailer or something? He got choked out.
Trailer.
And they said they had a warrant, but couldn't produce the paper warrant.
Yeah.
And they choked him out.
As they're lifting him to put him in the police car, the dude said, "It's dead weight."
Wow.
He said, "It's dead weight."
Well, that's Esau. That's how they think of us, man. We're the expendables. All right, is it good to read? All right, let's go. So, we just read a story where a brother defended himself, right? And he's facing first they were going to try him on first-degree murder, then they dropped it down to third degree. But that's still the same thing.
Yeah.
To me, 20 to 40 years, man, that's like life. Might as well give me life. You know what I'm saying? 20 to 40 years. Who the hell want to serve 20 to 40 years?
With life, you eligible for parole after what, 25 years?
Yeah.
Unless you get like natural life. Then
Exactly.
It's a wrap.
So let's read about Florida's stand your ground law, who's supposed to apply to everybody. Okay, blacks, Hispanics, white people, Asian people. The stand your ground law is supposed to be for everybody in Florida, right?
Supposed to.
All right. Well, let's find out.
Oh, I'm glad she got released. I didn't
Yeah,
know
she
that.
got released. She got released, but she still served time.
Yeah.
Now, if I was her, I would sue the living daylights out of Florida.
Yeah.
Come on.
Florida woman whose stand your ground defense was rejected is released. Marissa Alexander no longer wears an ankle monitor. She is now free to go to the park and play basketball with her children in her Jacksonville, Florida neighborhood.
Really? Play basketball? Really?
She can ride a bicycle and stroll on the beach, which she dreamed about in prison. I didn't carry an umbrella when I first got home, she said, because I wanted to feel the raindrops on my skin. Miss Alexander, 36, spent almost a half dozen years either locked in prison or confined to her house after she was convicted of aggravated assault charges in 2012 for firing a warning shot at her husband, who she said had abused her. According to her account in court documents, he had threatened her 9 days after she gave birth to their daughter. Miss Alexander was finally freed on January 27th.
And some of you sisters, you hook up with these maniacs, man. Maniacs. The sister just gave birth to your child and you physically abusing her and attacking her. Come on.
She plans to take up the fight for domestic abuse victims and push for a change in what advocates have called the uneven application of Florida's Stand Your Ground law. She will advocate amending the law in order to take the burden of proof off defendants who have to demonstrate
well, the burden of proof is not on on defendants. The burden of proof is on black defendants. Because George Zimmerman was good, even though they did that whole debacle in his thing with Trayvon Martin. He was good. He got off. All right. And that other Edomite in Florida who just shot the brother for no reason, he got off too. Come on.
She will advocate amending the law in order to take the burden of proof off defendants who have to demonstrate in pretrial hearings that they acted in self-defense and deserve immunity from trial.
And a lot of sisters has been put to death because of domestic violence.
Yeah,
okay, so if she owned that gun legally and her husband was going to take off her head, I'm talking about like really like beat the sister down. I'm not talking about an argument. Because there was remember we did that story on a sister that killed her husband because he raised her voice at her?
Yeah.
That's wicked as hell. She deserves prison. But if a sister has a gun legally and her husband is about to beat the living brakes out of her to where he could possibly kill her, and she defends herself, well, she's actually in the right for defending herself. He should not be putting his hands on her. No man should be beating their woman. If you can't fix your woman and subject your woman with the word of God, then you are not a man. All right, come on.
In Florida, the law allows for the use of deadly force in self-defense with no duty to retreat when a violent intruder breaks into a home or car. That shield was denied her in 2011 when a judge in a pretrial hearing rejected her attempt to use the law, saying she did not meet the burden of proof because there was a factual dispute on her stand your ground defense. That led to her trial and ultimate conviction, said Faith E. Gay, one of Miss Alexander's lawyers.
Come on.
Here is a black woman who had a history of abuse against her and tried to use stand your ground and ended up with a 20-year sentence, Bruce Zimmett, one Miss Alexander's lawyers, said in a telephone interview. Miss Alexander said of how she believed the court viewed her defense. It was a crime from the jump, adding, the stand your ground law was never considered.
Oh, see, there we go. Why was it never considered? Because you have a black woman with a legal firearm. I'm pretty sure it was legal in the state of Florida, and she used it. So what it is Esau does not want to put out that image of black people just standing their ground and using firearms like that. Because if that's the case, then they're gonna have a whole bunch of, you know how we used to say in the back in the days during the Jim Crow eras, the Negroes are gonna get too uppity.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a whole bunch of uppity Negroes at arms killing every white folk. They're gonna be running around killing white folk.
That's how they stopped the Black Panthers from the open carry. They had, hey, whoa, can't be doing that. Can't be walking around with guns. Let's go ahead and lock them up, make some laws.
Exactly, because they fear that.
That's what
they fear that. They fear that thing. Okay, okay. Close that out. Get the other one about the other lady from. You got it? If you need time, let me know. I want to pull another one. Black woman arrested in stand your ground state for shooting her abusive husband. Another one. You actually, you know what? Don't even get that. Don't worry about that. Let's go right to the one that he just sent you with the Edomite. And the sheriff that spoke out on the behalf of this guy, Esau is the devil. Esau is the devil, man. He said he slammed him to the ground. This brother ain't slammed nobody to the ground. He pushed him. You know what a slam means? To pick up and put down. That's a damn slam. A push is not a slam. You all up in his brother's girlfriend's face, threatening her. He comes out of the store to protect his black woman, and he gets killed for that. Meanwhile, he's walking away from the Edomite. All right. So, go ahead.
He killed someone in a parking space dispute, but police say he just stood his ground.
So the Edomite killed somebody in a parking space dispute, but the police says he just stood his ground. Come on. Michael Drezhka. Drezhka. That sounds like a Polak. He's a Polak. He's an Edomite Polak. Come on.
Michael Drezhka shot Marquise McLaughlin in a Florida parking lot. The question is if the state's stand your ground law allowed it. It seems like an obviously unnecessary escalation. An argument about a convenience store parking space turned into deadly violence. Michael Drezhka, after being shoved to the ground, shot and killed Marquise McLaughlin, who had pushed Drezhka but started to back off. But Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri said the authorities will not charge Drezhka for the shooting.
The same thing they used to do back then. You know, they used to look out for their own. They still do it today. Okay, you had to see the sheriff defending this dude. I'm like, damn, is he the sheriff or he's the defense lawyer?
Hey, remember in what's the movie Birth of a Nation? When they was looking for Nat Turner's dad, he came into the little shack like he assaulted a white man. You know somebody you got to pay.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how they act. Come on.
Citing
Come on.
Based on surveillance video and reports of the encounter, McLaughlin and his 5-year-old son were in the Circle A food store in Clearwater, Florida. On July 19th, when Drezhka approached their car, which was parked in a handicapped space. McLaughlin's partner, Brittany Jacobs, was in the car with the couple's other kids.
So she had her kids in the car. Drezhka, the Polak Edomite, he didn't care about that. Come on.
Was in the car with the couple's other kids. Drezhka and Jacobs began arguing over whether McLaughlin and Jacobs were allowed to park there.
Now, Drezhka had a history of intimidating people that came to this convenience store,
In that
mainly
park- in
black
that
people.
parking spot.
2 weeks ago, he called a black dude a nigger. Okay, and even the Arab dude that owned this convenience store, he said it himself.
Yeah.
He said this guy was nothing but problems. He was a white supremacist. Come on.
McLaughlin then came out of the convenience store and pushed Dreska to the ground. As McLaughlin began to back away, Dreska pulled out a gun and shot McLaughlin in the chest.
As he's backing away, he is no longer a threat. First and foremost, Dreska was a threat because he's approaching, although he has a concealed license permit, he's still antagonizing and intimidating this black woman in her car with her kids over parking in a handicapped spot, which he wasn't trying to get into the spot. It had nothing to do with him. As these people that they feel like they have to mind people's business. George Zimmerman did the same thing.
I had a dude.
He made himself the damn police community cop.
Community watch or something.
Community watch. You said you had to do what?
I was going through a school zone. It's summertime. School zone, like, you have to slow down to like 25, 30 or whatever. So I'm just going through. This dude ran me down, got me at the stoplight and said, hey, you were speeding through the school zone. I said, man, hold up real quick. And bent down. He hauled ass back to his car.
Damn. Crazy,
but
man.
He ran me down. That's my point. He ran me down to tell me I was speeding.
Edomite.
Unbelievable.
Come on. As if you didn't know you were speeding.
Yeah.
Come on.
McLaughlin then ran into the convenience store. He was taken to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead.
Now play the video. Is it going to take long to load? So that's the brother right there walking with his son to the store. His girlfriend is in that white car behind him. This loser, this Edomite retard, this Edomite devil, Dreshka, the Polak Edomite, he approaches the car, approaches the sister to antagonize her. Come on. Like, who the hell are you? No. The reason he did that, somebody came into the store and told him, yo, that dude that's always here bothering people, he's outside and he's
because it might not have been the first time he was dealing with his wife, his girl like that.
And he's talking to he's dealing with your wife.
Yeah.
Come on. So he walked out and he did what any man would do.
Any man would do.
Or like move him out the way.
Yeah.
Although it was a hard push. But
look how close he is.
It could be that he ain't do no push-ups that month.
Yeah.
He's frail.
If it's your wife and kids though in the car, and you got a perfect stranger that close to him, yeah,
exactly.
you go into red mode.
All right, so the dude, notice he pushed him. He didn't slam him like the sheriff said. He didn't pick him up and slam him. Come on. So he backed up. Look, clapped him in his chest. The brother held onto his chest, ran inside the store, and collapsed in front of his son. Now his girlfriend has to raise the kids with no father. Press play.
Has a concealed weapons permit and told police he shot McLaughlin because he feared for his life. The sheriff's office says he is protected
Stop.
by Florida's...
How? He was backing away. His right foot went back, and he was about to bring his left foot back. He was turning away. Although the biggest part, they always teach you to aim for the biggest part, which is your chest. He was turning away. He backed up. He didn't go in to stomp him. He didn't try to beat him up. He was backing away. You're backing away. You're no longer perceived as a threat. But this is the law. That's slack.
Yeah.
Because when the sisters, the video that we played before with her maniac husband that was trying to rip her head off, she wanted to stand her ground.
Yo.
She got locked up for it. Although they just released her, but she had
she had to go through all that.
She had to go through all that and still serve time.
Yeah.
But this dude, nothing happened to him at all.
And
because the stand your ground law is not for black people.
No, not at all. because it's not like the brother was provoking him. It's not like the brother threatened his life.
Right.
You got this, again, perfect stranger, this Edomite, rolled up on them. Brother's in the store minding his business. And all of a sudden, you're fearing for your life, but you asked for that. You are coming up to another brother's car. You don't know what he got in his car. You don't know what he's coming into the store with.
Yeah. Crazy. Press play.
Law, which allows people to use deadly force when fearing imminent death or great bodily harm without a duty to try to escape the danger.
He had to shoot to defend himself.
This guy.
It goes in with action, that's the law.
But Jacob says McLaughlin...
So stop. So why did not the same law apply to the sister? Why the same law did not apply to the black sister, but applied to this guy?
Right.
Come on.
After he pushed him. This is wrong, because all my man was trying to do was protect his girl, like anybody else would. The couple's 4-month-old son and 3-year-old daughter were inside the car during the...
Witness your father die, man. You know how harsh that child is gonna need years of therapy to overcome that thing. Watching this Edomite kill their parents, kill their dad, right there face to face, not behind their back, right there. They heard the sound of the gunshot. They seen when he grabbed his chest. They seen when he ran into the store and collapsed because his other son was inside of the store. And this dude is off free. Nothing. No backlash from the community, nothing.
So he can go back out there and do the same thing tomorrow. Huh?
He living life as normal.
That's another George Zimmerman. All right? Bring that down. Get rid of that. Get me the huh? No, I don't want that one. Get me 7-year-old takes car. Our boy that was in the Boondocks. Look at his pants, man. Hey, you know, man, he's serving time again?
Yeah.
As an adult now?
Yeah.
Damn, come on. Let's play this real quick.
Milton is not your typical 7-year-old. Few his age have ever driven an SUV up and down several busy streets. It all started at his mother's townhouse. Latarian says he took the car keys and hopped into his grandmother's Dodge Durango.
When I came through the back door, I looked on the counter, my keys were gone.
I took my grandma's car because I got mad at my mom, and then I saw and had my friend come in, and he smokes with cigarettes.
He started the vehicle and put it into gear.
I yanked the thing.
And off they went. 2 7-year-olds alone on the road. Latarian drove several miles through
Smoking
Lake Park
cigarettes
and
and
Palm
rock.
Beach Gardens.
We got the one call that I told you about of a driver in the vehicle who looked too short to be able to see over the steering wheel.
Along the way, he ran over 2 mailboxes, hit 2 parked cars in a Costco parking lot, and struck 2 moving cars near Walmart.
I want to do it because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things, to drive into a car.
But did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
It all ended on Investment Lane and Consumer
You
Drive.
said I wanted to
That's
do
where
hood rat
Latarian
stuff, but
hit
you
the
know what's
curb
sad
and
about
sideswiped
that
the
is that
sign.
the media took this thing and they ran with it, and what they did, they enabled his behavior. Because there's other interviews where Edomites are interviewing him, and it's almost like they're not correcting him. One dude said, hey, show me some more bad stuff. But they would never do that to another white boy.
Right.
They were enabling him. Okay, that's why he's in the situation that he's in now. He's an adult now, and he's still going through the justice system. Because he can't get right. Because what they did, they enabled him. They found it funny. They put him on Boondocks, and they enabled him.
They didn't try to rehabilitate him, because that's what they'll do to their own people. They'll say, well, he needs to go through rehabilitation. Like the brother that killed the drunk driver. He killed like 6 or 7 people or something like that. And they just say he needed to be rehabilitated into society. You killed 7 people. You got drunk, and then he got off. What's the rehabilitation?
Yeah. Press play.
The SUV took most of the beating, snapping off one of his axles and wheels. A grandmother's rage.
I want to whip his behind. That's what I want to do right now. If I thought they wouldn't take me to jail, I'd whip his behind right now.
You don't think he should be punished for all of this?
Just a little bit, no video games for a whole weekend.
And one unusual story for police.
Are you sorry? You understand that now your grandma's going to have to pay to have those cars fixed because you hit those cars.
Can my mom help her?
All right. Stop that. Give me the other one. Get me, like I said, they kept on enabling him, man. You can watch a video called The Full Story of Hood Rat. That's crazy what they call him. The Full Story of Hood Rat, Latarian Milton, 2008-2018. It's too long, so I'm not going to play it because we're short on time. But like I said, they were enabling this dude. Get me this one of the other boy, same age, different race. Jacob does something. Although they didn't lock him up because he's too young. We understand that. But the way they handle it, the way they enable this guy. Yeah. Come on.
We are back at 7:44 with the joyride that surprised even seasoned police officers. Take a look at this dash cam video from a cruiser in Plain City, Utah, as an officer chased down a suspect driving erratically, running through 2 stop signs. The chase lasted for several miles, and when the car finally stopped, a 7-year-old boy ran out actually from behind the wheel. His name is Preston Scarborough. He is with us exclusively along with his parents, Daniel and Melanie, and his sister.
They're happy about it. It's nothing. No, go ahead. Press play.
Good morning. What a day last Sunday was for this entire family. Dan, if I can start with you. You're downstairs. It's around 8:30 in the morning. You're watching TV. Melanie upstairs, still sleeping. You think the kids are upstairs sleeping as well. You hear sirens outside. Then what happened?
Well, I heard sirens coming down the street, and I actually thought it was Preston getting up, playing a video game or something like that. And so the sirens kept getting louder and louder and louder. And all of a sudden, I hear him come across the floor upstairs and come running downstairs and said, "Dad, the cops are outside." And I'm like, "Oh, they're like out in front of our house?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I'm assuming it's something happening across the street. So I'm halfway up the stairs, and the cops are at my front door, and I'm trying to find some pants to put on, some shorts or something, and by the time I did that and was going to the front door, the officers were coming through with a garage door, my back door, and just informed me that my son just been involved in a high-speed chase. They said, but it was high speed for a 7-year-old, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, it was no joking matter. He went on for several miles, right? He left your house, went north. Police tried to stop Preston. He took turns down various roads.
But I just wanted to show you the play on words that they use, and you see the difference. They kind of made this more like glamour and glitz for this guy.
Yeah, they always lighten the mood.
All right, but they didn't enable him. They spoke to him when he watched the rest of the interview. They spoke to him, what you did was wrong, blah, 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 blah. They didn't try to get him on any more interviews and tell him, hey, show me some more bad stuff that you did. Because that's what the other guy did with what's his name? With Latarian Milton. Show me some more hood rat stuff you know how to do. Okay, they didn't do that with this guy. Show me the let's get the experiment, the open carry experiment. Like we said, man, like you just said, that open carry is not for black people. Y'all better be careful with that. Be very careful with that.
On the program about
I'd rather be concealed than open carry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let it ride out.
We talk often on the program about, theoretically, how an open carry advocate would be treated incredibly different if he was white or if he was black. Now, we hypothesize about this. Some open carry activists decided to actually test it, and these 2 videos you're going to see back-to-back show the different ways that police actually respond to these open carry advocates. Let's watch.
How you doing, sir?
What was that, an AK-47?
M16.
M16? Look how he approached them all calm.
Any particular reason why you're carrying the AR especially around this point?
Oh, he had an AR.
I understand that, but is there a reason why?
Okay.
Of course.
Uh-oh, test 2, Jake.
He pulled out the gun. He's getting
This is
down.
a brave, press pause. This is a brave dude, man. And notice why he had his phone in his hand. He did that on purpose so they can't say, oh, his hand was on a gun. So I know that's why he had the phone out. He was texting. And I know he's seen the cop. He's texting. But that's still brave because that Edomite could have let off. Oh, I thought that was a camera gun. You know, or a phone gun. You know, all sorts of excuses. Come on.
With 32 white bullets.
Just walking up and carrying.
All the cops came.
I do not consent to any search and seizure of my property. Sir, just gonna ask you. Is this weapon real or is it an AR-15?
They're taking his weapon.
So you see a very different response.
That's it on that. We don't got to
One-
watch the whole video, but you see a different response. And this was in the same city. Same city. Okay, what video is this? Okay.
Yeah. Same crime, same different time.
All right, yeah, let's play that. But hold on. Let me just make my commentary on the last one. It was the same thing, same city. So you brothers and sisters watching online, it wasn't a different state. That was the same city, but just two different races. And you see how the Edomite was handled as opposed to the brother, okay? The Edomite cop approached the other Edomite with no care in the world. He approached him. He didn't have his hands on his gun or his hand on his
afraid for
taser.
his life or anything.
Exactly. But you see one black guy with an AR-15 is like you see 20 black people with a damn Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. Armed robbery, Alan C. Peters.
Look at the age, 17. 17, another 17-year-old, but he's black.
Six years probation. This brother right here, what did he get?
4 years in prison.
Wow. Look at this guy. Lamar Lloyd, armed robbery.
Same
26 years in prison. Wow. Chase Legleitner, German possibly, 2 years in county. Not 26, but 2. The law is slack, brothers. Wow. Damn, they say judges struggle to see a potential in a young black man. That's scary. Well, I don't know about the kneeling stuff. Y'all need to stop that kneeling. That's horrible. This kneeling crap. All right?
Just getting your knees dirty.
Now, what time is it? Okay. All right. So there we showed you the difference. We know the law is slack when it comes to black and white people. Right. Esau and Jacob. All right. The law is slack. Let's show the beating first before we show this. This is a different topic. I didn't get to address that. We'll address that next time. Oh, I didn't get to address that either. We'll do that next time. Let's get the beating. You got the beating? The actual beating of the Korean. You got that, Jonathan? I sent it to you. Huh? I think it was on Facebook. It has it in there? All right, so just play it. It's afterward.
Because the grandmother came here with her 2 granddaughters.
All right, so let me hold up. You're gonna have to fold. I can't hear. Just let it put the volume all the way down. Let it play it. I can't hear her mouth. This is you want to drive out the enemy? Just get the black woman. All right. Hey, so let me bring you up to speed. Some sisters went to a Korean nail shop to get their nails and their eyebrows done. The sister got her nails done. She was satisfied. She got her nails done. Her eyebrows, the Korean woman had a ginsu session on her eyebrows, and it was horrible. It was just $5, so she didn't want to pay for it. She didn't want to pay for it. They beat the bricks. Go back. They beat the living daylights out of the sister, her family. I mean, there was Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, all them dudes was in there. That's what it looked like. The sisters couldn't even defend themselves. And this, you know what's crazy? This is in Brooklyn. I am shocked. I am shocked that this was in Brooklyn. Okay? As soon as I leave Brooklyn, this happens.
Wow.
As soon as I leave, this happens. All right, go ahead. Press play. Let's show the royal beating that happened to our sisters. Come on. Blow it up, blow up the screen. Put up the volume. You're going to hear all sorts of Xing Shu Fa Hu. Ooh, go back. Damn, go back. So this is what we're talking about, brother. Look at this. Look how they beating her and holding her. All because of hitting her in the head.
$5.
Why you laughing, bro? Why you laughing?
Hitting her too. Look, holding her. Look, they taking turns because of $5. Look at that. This is assault. He's saying, please back up.
Stop.
What?
Are you serious?
Man, please. You got to be kidding me. But that's Judah for you. That's the, well, not even Judah. I can't say Judah. That's the whole nation of Israel. We couch down. You can end it on that. I can't even see no more. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Just a couple of weeks ago in St. Louis, a black woman, I don't know if she was a crackhead or not, but she got her ass beat by some Arabs, Ishmael. Now you have the Koreans, the Moabites. You got the Koreans, the Moabites, because they fall into that Chinese thing too. Guess what? Now they assaulting our people. Soon is gonna be what race? What other race is there left? We are getting jacked up all over the board.
All of them getting a piece.
Because they see how we treated each other. So now it's just open season on black people. Back in the 60s, 70s, this would never had happened.
No.
This would never had happened. But now they don't care. Remember the other video? The brother that was hitting the sister with the Muay Thai kicks to the leg?
Oh yeah.
In the weave store?
Yeah. Little shop. Yo.
They have no respect for our people. And they took a beating just because she didn't want to pay the $5. And you know what happened? The police came, and guess who they arrested?
Nah, don't say.
Because they did not want to pay the Koreans the $5 because they messed up their eyes. It's about supply and demand. If I'm paying you for a service and you jacking my eyes up, I ain't gonna pay you.
You're not paying.
Just like you have brothers that go into barbershops. If they zeke you that bad, I know brothers walk out. They don't even pay them. Or the barber will be like, you know what? My bad. This is on me. Your next cut is gonna be on the store.
Yeah.
These Koreans, it look like they've been waiting to do that to somebody. They beat the hell out of these black people.
She was prepped with the stick.
These nations don't have no respect for us as a nation of people. We got to come together. We got to come together under God's laws. First, we got to have respect towards each other. And once we start to rise up on our feet, brothers and sisters, these nations will have respect for us, all right? But in the meantime, why not go to a Northern Kingdom spot? They do hair well. They do nails well. They do eyebrows well.
We got to start spending our money amongst each other because we continue to go to other nations that hate our guts.
Every black and Hispanic need to boycott the hell out the store in Brooklyn.
Close it down.
Exactly. There are so many Hispanic and black nail shops in Brooklyn. Why are these places still open? You know, we could never go into Chinatown or Korean town, wherever we're at, and open up a store in their community. They will not spend their money with us.
No.
So how could they feel so free to come into our communities? Because this looked like it was somewhere on Nostrand Avenue or Crown Heights somewhere. They feel free to come into our communities and drop money and have us spend money with them freely. And this is how they treat us?
Yep. And we continue to do it.
Black people, we got to wake up, man. We have to wake up. We must wake up. And unfortunately, they got locked up. It's not like she was trying to rob from them. She paid for her nails because she was satisfied with the nails. I'm not paying for that. Same when you go into a restaurant, you order a nice piece of filet mignon. You get the filet mignon, and if it's not up to your standard, you don't have to pay for it. You can send it back. Yeah. They could either recook it or give you another piece, but you don't have to pay. You're not going to pay for 2 pieces. It's the same thing with that. But instead of just taking an L on that $5, they decided to go upside of the sister's head.
Sad.
The law is slack. The law is slack. And then they got arrested. Probably by some rookie cops. Unbelievable. But, brothers and sisters, thank you for tuning in to In the Scripts Reloaded. Make sure you follow us on IUIC Dallas YouTube. Subscribe to that. IUIC in the scripts, right? Facebook page, in the scripts Facebook page. We also have a IUIC Dark Ages page. Support that. We have a IUIC Russia page. Support that. Subscribe to that on YouTube. Subscribe to that. IUIC Russia, YouTube, IUIC Short Films, IUIC Events page. Subscribe. As you see, we're trying to do big things in Israel. We are about the Lord's business by any means necessary. All right? So, brothers and sisters, we're going to close out. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for tuning in to In the Scripts.
You're listening to In the Scripts.